Hey, today, well, tonight, I would like to show you the Canon 90D and the Canon EOS R with the cheapest Canon lenses in very low light conditions, right here on my famous terrace and with basically no light. So I'm gonna turn this light off. Well, I don't see Let's just roll the intro. What's up guys, Dan Furlani here and welcome back to a new video. If you're new to this channel, consider subscribing. If not, just hit the like button. But let's jump immediately into the topic of today's video, which is the Canon EOS R filming right now and the Canon 90D, this bad boy, in very low light conditions with the cheapest Canon lenses. Before we start, I wanted to say that I've already made a similar video but comparing the 90D with the Canon M50 in very low light conditions with the same lenses. In this case it's gonna be different because we're gonna have the 90D and the EOS R, and also it's gonna be different because I'll be doing it here on my terrace, covered terrace. But let's start right away with the Canon 10 to 18 millimeters. It's an EFS lens, so it's going to be a fair comparison, because when you put an EFS lens on the EOS R, we're gonna get the same field of view that we would get with a crop sensor camera like the Canon 90D. But let's start now. So what you're seeing right now is the Canon 90D with the 10 to 18 millimeters, shutter speed 1/50th of a second, aperture f4.5, which is the maximum aperture of this lens. So it's pretty dark because I don't have any light on except the lights inside my apartment, so I'm not getting any direct light. Currently ISO 1600, and I think it's pretty dark. What do you think about it? Leave a comment down below, let me know. And since you're there, hit the like button. Let's try to set the ISO at 2000. Wait, 3200. What do you think? Any better? Again, the Canon 90D with the 10 to 18 millimeters, 10 millimeters, wide open, f4.5. It's not a wide aperture, but just judge for yourself. This is the result when you shoot with this camera, this lens, in very low light conditions. I'm not using any direct light. The light is coming just from inside my apartment, like regular lights, and this is it. Now, let's see what it looks like with the Canon EOS R and this same lens. And I'm going to have to use an adapter, the adapter. With this, I can use EF and EFS lenses on the Canon EOS R. Let's pop it in. And this is the Canon EOS R with the 10 to 18 millimeters. It looks kind of darker for some reasons, and I'm already at ISO 3200. But I think with this camera, I can bump it up a little bit more. Let's see. ISO 6400. Tell me what you think about it. Again, I'm not using any direct light. The light is coming exclusively from inside my apartment. No softbox, no LED, nothing. I'm just bumping up the ISO to get more light. ISO 6400. ISO 10,000. I don't know if it's gonna be grainy, like with digital noise, but I gotta try. So we get the idea. Now I want to try another lens, and it's gonna be the Canon EFS 24 millimeters 2.8, the pancake lens. We're gonna see it first with the Canon 90D and then with the Canon EOS R. 1 second. This is the Canon 90D with the EFS 24 millimeters 2.8, the pancake lens. Aperture wide open f2.8 and ISO 3200. What do you think? The aperture makes the difference. I can see so much light in here, and I guarantee you there's no light. It's just the light coming from inside my apartment. This is not direct light. So this was the Canon 90D. Now let's see how it does with the Canon EOS R. And here we are, the Canon EOS R with the pancake lens, the 24mm 2.8, the EFS lens. And again, it looks like a little bit darker, well, much darker at ISO 3200. So let's bump it up and see what happens. ISO 5000 and ISO 6400. What do you think? So again, the pancake lens, 24mm, aperture wide open f2.8, and this is the result with almost no light. This is actually one of my favorite lenses to use with the Canon M50, the Canon 90D, but honestly for the EOS R, I have the 35mm, which is 1.8, which is even better in low light and has a similar focal range, because on the EOS R it's a real 35mm, like full frame, while this 24mm is cropped, both on the 90D and here on the EOS R. Check the links in the description to see all these lenses and cameras. Check them out when you get the chance, and since you're there, hit the like button. Now, the last lens I'm gonna show you is the Nifty 50, the Canon 50mm 1.8, and that's gonna look like cropped, like an 80mm, 80ish, something like that on the Canon 90D, and like a 50mm, real 50 on the Canon EOS R. But let's start with the 90D. And this is the Canon 90D with the Nifty 50 at 1.8, I mean f1.8, the aperture. Tell me what you think about it. Well, these lenses are all cheap, but this one lens is the cheapest. Its price is around $100, something like that. What you're seeing is being shot with no light. There's no direct light. It's just the light from inside my apartment. I'm at ISO 1600. Now let's see what happens when I use this lens on the Canon EOS R. 1 second. Well, first thing we see with the Canon EOS R, it looks like a real 50mm. So I'm gonna have to reframe to recreate the same shot or similar to the one I got with the 90D. Was it like this? More or less. By the way, right now, aperture f1.8, ISO 3200. Just let me know what you think about it. So I showed you the 10 to 18mm, the 24mm, the pancake lens, and the 50mm, the Nifty 50, with both cameras. But I don't think it's like a competition here between the two cameras. I believe they're just different. Let me know which one you prefer with these lenses, the Canon 90D or the Canon EOS R. Leave a comment down below. But I'm curious to see what the Canon RF 35mm can do in these conditions, like very low light. Even though I can't use it with the 90D, but I want to see what it looks like. So I'm just gonna try it with the EOS R. Let's see. Okay, so we're looking at it right now. The Canon EOS R with the Canon RF 35mm 1.8. Wide open at f1.8, ISO 3200. Too bad I can't try this lens on the Canon 90D because they have a different mount and there is no adapter. I mean, you can use EF and EFS lenses on the Canon EOS R, but you can't use any RF lens on the Canon 90D. Alright, let's put some light and let's wrap it up. So we have seen those lenses with both the Canon EOS R and the Canon 90D. All of them except for the RF lens, the 35mm, because apparently there's no way to use it with the Canon 90D. But what can we do? Anyway, all these lenses and my camera and lights and everything are listed down below with links Check them out when you get the chance. And also, if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, smash it right now, subscribe if you aren't already, and I will see you guys in the next video.